called nofollow, which is a HTML attribute called nofollow. And what that does is it tells the spider, it's a link, but don't follow it. So it's streaming the spider to purely relevant content, and then it's saying, now go to the next page, which is relevant, now the next page, which is relevant. When it becomes non-relevant, or it moves subject heading, it goes from the bottom of one silo to the top of the other, and then the whole process is repeated. So you can see it's a silo structure. So I'm just showing you this because it's a very powerful way of creating a very search engine, hyper-optimized website. I'm going to keep clicking on it, please, Lou. I've shown you the TopScripts blog. Every website, every business website should have a blog. Why? Well, there's a ton of reasons, not least of which is this. If you are trying, when your site first gets, or your web page first gets indexed by Google, Google will have a look at it, index it, put it in the listings. It will then come along again in 3 months or whatever, and then if the website has changed, it will come along in 2 months. If it's changed again, 1 month. If it's changed again, you get in the picture. You can train Google to come and see your site more often. That's why the gel bras thing got listed within 15 minutes, because Google's checking that site that often. Yeah? If you've got a static website, it's just going to come back every 3 months. And it's not alive. I mean, websites to me are like plants. You plant them in the greenhouse, you nurture them, you give them food and water, and they grow and they develop. But you have to put effort in. And blogging is a really, really powerful and simple way to do that, and a very low-cost way of doing it. Because all a blog is a piece of software that allows people that don't know how to do HTML to create HTML pages with no knowledge. Because you're just putting text in there, you can embed videos in there, you can embed pictures in there, and you click publish, and the software does it for you and creates the page for you. So you don't need to know HTML. And of course, if you've done your keyword research, you can make sure that the blog entry has your keywords in it. You can search into Google loves blogs because of the way blogs are set up. The software is designed for being search engine friendly. Excuse me. There are a number of, we're going to talk about business blogging. If you've got a business and you're going to use a blog for your business, you've got to think about the neighborhood that you're in. If you go to blogger.com, that is not the software to use for your business, because what's blogger.com used by? Mainly teenagers doing their diaries and talking about, all that rubbish, okay? That's that neighborhood. If you go to WordPress, which is possibly the best blogging software out there, then you're in a different neighborhood. You're in a kind of, that's used by internet marketers and businesses. And it's a beautiful piece of software. It's very, very easy to use. On TopScripts, we use Movable Type. Movable Type, one of the few blogging platforms that you have to pay to get. It costs about 70 quid. It's still peanuts, but it's basically a professional blogging software. So the analogy is really, Movable Type. It's published by a company called sixapart.com. It's kind of like putting a Rolls-Royce garage in the middle of Wythenshawe. It doesn't make any sense, does it? I'm not slagging off Wythenshawe. I might be slagging off Rolls-Royce, you see. It's about using the right tool for the job, really. Next one, please, Louise. So this is silo structure, and then we go on to a blank page. That's a picture of my mind. Is that it? Oh, good, right. Yeah, so this is normally, I was explaining outside to this gentleman. I've forgotten your name already, because it's like that, isn't it? Lewis, it's there now. I've had my head below the parapet for 5 or 6 years, just getting on with my business, and it was only last October. I met William over there in San Diego, and there was a bunch of us sat around a table. I think the combined turnover of the room was probably in the region of 50 million quid. And the business owners were all talking and saying, oh, this is my business, this is my problem. And I was sat there going, wasn't I? You can back this up, Will. So, well, you've not done your keyword research, you've got no links, and everybody was saying, can you help us? Can you help us with the business? So I said, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll do a seminar. So I think the first time I stood up and talked about this stuff was back in October last year, and I've done it quite a number of times now. And when I first did it, did you come to the first one, Will? Or the second one? Was it good?
Very good.
Has your business improved?
It certainly has.
There you go. Testimonial. Always get testimonials. It's a conversion rate optimization trick. What was I saying? So since then, I can't remember where I was now. I haven't had any wine either. That's right, I was getting my head there. Head above the parapet. Sharing this stuff is you know, the number of you that are actually going to take action on this, I would put down at probably 20%, maybe higher. Maybe higher because you're committed enough to turn up to a talk like this. But the key thing is, and I want you all to take this away, action. There's no point doing anything unless you, or learning stuff like this unless you take action. Whatever your objective is, take some action. It will change your life if you do this stuff. So anyway, what I was saying was, this talk was, the first one I did was about 9 hours long. So I can talk about this stuff for about 9 hours and still not talk about everything. You know, I've just given you a sort of highlight and overview tonight. And the bit that I like the most is kind of workshopping. So a gentleman up there has given me a couple of domain names. Do you want to go to Google and go to word2007madeeasy.com? Is this targeted at a UK audience or a worldwide audience? Word 2007 Made Easy?
Initially UK, but we've sold like some books for Canada and Australia and stuff.
So you're using AdWords? Oh, you got it right. Have you got it up on ClickBank?
Yeah, we've been there for a while, yeah.
Has it made any sales?
It didn't really fit into the categories very well, like, 'cause it's an educational book, like, it was mostly like for businesses and stuff like that, so I don't think it really provided us very well.
Okay. So what's your main route to market with it, and how much has it turned over?
Not very much at all. We literally finished the book about a couple of months ago, probably.
Did you do any keyword research to see if people were looking for the products?
Not really, no.
There's the major mistake. I've made this mistake. I showed you the cookery course earlier. I did that out of passion. And this is where most business people go wrong. Look, why do restaurants close down? Yeah? People open restaurants because they're passionate about the food, aren't they? Yeah. Have you got a restaurant?
No, it's a cash flow situation. You can have money coming in. There's not enough to pay all the bills in the first year. The majority of restaurants fail in the first
Yeah,
year.
because of the huge overhead to open it up.
We teach hospitality.
Oh, do you? Right.
We teach them how to not lose your business.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's true, isn't it? But it's these businesses built out of passion that suffer. My cookery course was out of passion. I know this guy. I've known him for 20 years. He's a world-class German chef. He's retired. He lives in Sweden now. He'd done a course at a university in Germany teaching Americans on how to cook. He's a fantastic character. He's a bit like the chef on Sesame Street. Hurdy-burdy, like that. Big fat, big heavy drinker. Great fun. And I said, let's turn it into an ebook. So I said, look, I got it typed up. We turned it into an ebook. I said, let's do videos. We did 6 hours of videos of him cooking in his kitchen, all this great food. I went and spent the weekend in Sweden, ate all this fantastic food, got drunk on his homemade vodka, ignored his homegrown marijuana. That was in the, if you ever catch him. But hardly any sales, because the keyword, in fact, put in how to, sorry, I'm just going to jump off and come back to this one. Just type in how to cook. I did the SEO so well that the keyword how to cook, which is a massive keyword, I think last time I looked, just how to cook, yeah. There it is, number 3. It's above the Times. And look how many, 83 million pages for how to cook. There it is. That's a big keyword. Do you know what? Doesn't convert. Why? Because people get recipes online. I go online all the time looking for recipes. You get them free. Why would you pay for them? You go into Tesco's, you'll see a £25 Jamie Oliver book for £5 the week after it's released. So I didn't do my market research properly. I did it out of passion. Don't do anything out of passion apart from the obvious things. Yeah? In business, yes, sir.
I was going to ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
You're talking about the keyword search on Google, the keyword application. Would that be a useful tool or useful information to include within, say, a business plan, for example, if you were trying to prove how big the market was for a specific idea that you had? Would that be a good tool?
Absolutely. It's the critical thing. You go and do keyword research. Firstly, you type in the idea. You type in the keyword that you think relates to the thing that you're trying to do. And then Google tells you, well, there's your keyword, there's the traffic. There are other tools, by the way. I mean, if you want to get deep into this, I recommend Market Samurai. Okay? Market Samurai has everything in it. It has the commercial intent, which is a Microsoft datum that basically tells you, they can tell you what the commercial intent of a keyword is. And you can get all that in Market Samurai. It actually tells you, well, people who've typed in this keyword, a percentage have gone on to purchase something, and they put that data in the matrix. I mean, It's phenomenal. So, sorry. Market Samurai you have to pay for. I don't know how much it is, but it's not that expensive.
You can use the keyword research free.
Yeah, you can do the keyword research free, but the other bits you have to pay for. And it gives you all sorts of data. If I had my Apple, I'd show you, but unfortunately it's on my Apple. But I think you can get it from noblesamurai.com. There was a guy in Manchester and a guy in Australia that came up with the idea, and it's just a phenomenal piece of software for any internet marketer. Phenomenal. So to answer your question, yes, critical. Go and do keyword research. It will tell you exactly all the other keywords that people are looking for that relate to it. You spot the size of the market, commercial intent, what the AdWords competition is, how much traffic you can expect to get if you were #1 for that keyword in the search engine rankings. It's got everything. It's got everything. I'm going to go back to the Word 2007 Made Easy. Do you want to go to the to the homepage? The homepage is actually #2. That's interesting. Isn't that interesting? So you do a preview. You give people free chapters, presumably, get them into it. But you didn't do your keyword research, so you don't know what people are typing in. You know, do you know now?
Yeah, we've done a tiny bit. We just kind of graduated, thought we learned an awful lot about Word and wanted to make a book.
This is the Microsoft Word program,
Yeah.
the one that I write all my letters on.
Yeah.
So isn't the title not moron?
We basically we have finished graduates had to write like 1,900,000 words between us. And after a year of like messing around, so then so many shortcuts, we literally start say weeks of work by getting to do stuff for us. And so there's a lot of people who could benefit from the same sort of thing.
So let's go to Google, please, Louise. Leave that page open and type in Word 2007 help. I'd say that, is that a keyword you've looked for? So Microsoft, predictably at the top. Does Microsoft teach anything that you don't in your course? Or the other way around?
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft kind of, the way they teach is quite boring and stuff, so.
Okay, can you go to the keyword research tool? Well, firstly, keyword research. You didn't do that, fatal error, yeah? Secondly, they come to the site. You need to find out what keywords people are typing in that relate to help with Microsoft Word, and then optimize it for that, and then advertise under it with pay-per-click. Can you put in Word 2007 help? There you go, not enough data. You know, but there's 6,000 there a month. MS Word help, 300. This is good. I mean, it's a small market. Oh, hello, where is help? Oh no, it's a different thing. Not a massive market. I wouldn't generally go for a market like that unless it had at least 30,000 searches a month, because then it's tasty. Then you know if you get 10% clicks from that, you've got 3,000. Then you know if you can convert at, say, 10%, you've got 300 sales a month. And if you're making 20 quid a sale, what's that? 6 grand a month. Bang, you're in business. With like 6, 7, 8, 9,000, you've reduced that massively. So that's the error, is what does the market want it? Which is the same error I did with the cooking. But it's a great error to make, because you now know that, and you've gone through the pain and process of producing a product, which is fantastic. It is. All you've got to do now is find a market and go and produce something that people actually want. You just pop onto the web page again, please, Louise. The Word 2007 Made Easy one. Now, in terms of copywriting and conversion, it's good. To start with, it's good. Word 2007 Made Easy. Now, what I would do, a quick and simple guide for students, what I would do is I'd create a compelling headline. So what's this going to do for me? Why did you create it? What's the biggest problem with Word 2007? How to write your dissertation.
Find anything.
Learning curve, yeah. Learning
Where's
curve.
the tools gone that was on the previous version?
Oh, is that what's happened with Word?
Clearly revamped.
They are there, but they're hidden.
So this is the problem. So the headline should be, here's the solution. So what's the solution? The solution is, have you lost all the da-da-da from Word and then since the upgrade? We've got all the answers. we will make your life easier, which is already in there, and we guarantee you will write your dissertation in half the time, or whatever. Yeah? So you're solving the problem, and then you're giving the promise of what the solution is, and you're guaranteeing it. Oh, suddenly I'm interested in this. Yeah?
Because every time you put a new version in, you just update it.
Yeah, and you can sell the update.
And actually, people have problems with it, not usually the younger people who are trying to. It's all the old ones, and it's tutors who can't find it. They use the old system,
Yeah.
the wrong market.
They could always put a copy in your skip.
Yeah. I don't actually own any skips, I just want that to go on record. So, something you've done good here, though, is the bullet points. If you just go down a little bit. Now, go back up, actually, Louise. The problem with this stuff here, buy now, contact, instantly, I'm being sold to. And that's not the way to do it. And I'll give an example. I had a client recently, I told them to produce a thing called the 7 Secrets to Successful Business Cash Flow. They do invoice financing, they do factoring. They resisted the things I said to them, as most people do, and then they put up this page. And on the page, it had I think we might be able to find it actually, Louise. Could you go to zest4funding.co.uk, number 4? Yeah, I'll show you this. No, number 4.
But you can also market this to restaurant owners, particularly
Oh,
those
yeah.
who don't know anything about restaurant business.
Absolutely.
So that's the first year.
Yeah, absolutely. So, this is their website, eventually. Just go down the page on the bottom right. Just click on that. I use 7 Secrets a lot. Will knows this. Why do I use 7 Secrets? I use 7 Secrets to Successful Skip Hire on Top Skips, actually. What are the secrets of skip hire? Can you have secrets to skip hire? We get 5 to 20 people sign up to that every day. Why? Why do we do it? Because there's a lot of people who will come to your site, we call them happy clickers. They'll come, they'll click, they'll go away. Now, if you've paid for that traffic, I told you earlier, you want their email address, okay? So how do you get their email address? Give them an incentive, give them something they might want. Okay, so give them information. So then we give them information, and we give them free information. So what are we doing? Well, firstly, we're depositing in their emotional bank account. When you give people free, useful information, you create a relationship with them. It's like when somebody buys you a drink at the bar, you then go and buy the next round, because that's the way we're programmed. We want to reciprocate. Not only that, but if you're putting in an autoresponder sequence, in the case of Skip Hire, it's like 7 secrets over 7 days. When I first did it, it was a PDF download. I then went to the market and then emailed them all and said, what did you think to the guide? And they all said, well, I read the first page and then I got distracted and it's on my desk. Well, they're not reading the information. So then I thought, well, let's split it up. Let's send them a bite-sized chunk every day. What's that doing? It's giving them that information, but it's also, bunk, 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 every day, your brand. For free. They're not having to go back to your site and click on your advert for free. No, the way we all work, this actually goes back to the 1930s. I told you a lot of this stuff is old. There was a Hollywood producer that invented the star system, first realized in the 1930s that most people that came to his films that he produced had to be exposed to the idea 7 times on average before they made the decision to actually go to the cinema and see the film. This is why the star system was developed, because if you had James Cagney above the title, people go, oh, I like James Cagney, I'll go to that. It made the decision easier. Yeah? So back then, he did a lot of research and realized, well, people needed to hear about it on the radio, read about a review in the paper, get somebody who's been to see it and told them about it, etc. And we're all like that, all of us. In fact, there's research out at the moment that says we need to be exposed to the idea of something 30 times, maybe even more, before we make a decision to buy it. Why? Because we're completely being bombarded all the time by messages, and we are basically immune. And this has come back to at the start, the purple cow. You've got to stand out. Now, doing 7 secrets to skip hire stands out. It's a purple cow. Online skip hire was a purple cow. It didn't exist before. Doing 7 secrets to skip hire? Now, some people write back and say, you shouldn't send these out one a day, it's annoying. Okay, fair enough. But let me tell you this. When I first did it 2 years ago, I didn't change anything else about the website at all. I just put up the 7 secrets. Nothing else changed. The traffic was the same from 1 month to the next. The turnover doubled. Was it to do with the 7 secrets? I think it was. There was a lot to do with it. So, get emails, give information. The free line is the way. You've got to build relationships. You can use your website to build a relationship for you while you're sleeping, playing golf, eating dinner, whatever it is that you're doing. Yeah? It can work. It's a 24-hour-a-day salesperson, and it can work for you all day long. Now, this is really interesting. This is the Zest for Funding example. Now, they basically followed the model I told them to follow. There's a few things here. One is that you'll notice that that's designed to look like an actual book or book cover or software package. Why? Because psychologically, it's more real. Yeah? Psychologically, we just... So many things decisions we make are all... Have you ever read Blink by Malcolm Gladwell? I'd recommend that. Business books to do with online... Well, this is actually nothing to do with online marketing. Blink by Malcolm Gladwell and... What's the other one? Tipping Point. And he's got a new one out as well. But Blink's brilliant. If you're a marketer, you've got to read Blink because it explains... He's a kind of social anthropologist sort of character. Jamaican, English, Canadian mix. Writes for the New Yorker, a column. Amazing writer. And the idea of Blink is that we all actually make a decision within the first millisecond about whether we're going to buy off somebody, about whether we're going to like somebody, about whether we're going to sleep with somebody. It's all very quick. And then we spend the next minute, day, year, whatever, procrastinating about it. That's the way we're made. So that's one of the reasons why doing a book tour. When they did it, they put their logo up here and their phone number. Why? Because every single business person suffers from the same problem. It's their ego. And it's also, well, you've got to put your phone number on. Well, no, it isn't, because as soon as there's a phone number, what are you thinking as a visitor? They're trying to sell to me. They are trying to sell to me. I don't like it. And a percentage of people will run away. When I told them to take it off. I said, let's test it. We took off the logo, took off the phone number. I can't remember do you remember what it was, William? Because I sent an email about it, didn't I? It was something like 600% increase in response rates. 600%. It's unbelievable. And it's because of these principles. Sell without selling. Whatever you got, whatever you're selling, give away as much as you can. Let the technology help you build a relationship with people. And video, all of that stuff. I mean, your course, has it got any video on it? The Word? I mean, screen. Why? Stop that project. Go and find another one. Because you're not going to make any money out of it. There's no point putting effort into something that's not going to make any money, is there? Yeah, there's other routes to market. I mean, we're talking about SEO and pay-per-click, but direct mail is very powerful. Doing affiliate things, advertising in the right place, doing JVs, that kind of thing. I mean, TopSkips is going to be in 500,000 Wix catalogues on the 1st of April in Wix stores with a full-page advert that's cost us nothing. But if whatever skip we sell through it, because we're tracking the sales, we're going to pay Wix a commission on every skip. There's lots of different ways of skinning a cat. It's not just about SEO. But, yeah. 500% increase, right. That's, any questions? Yeah.
What about microblogging and things like Twitter?
Twitter, very good question. Can we pop on to twitter.com? Anybody not know what Twitter is? Everybody's heard of Twitter now because Stephen Fry's been talking about it, yeah? Twitter's incredible. This is kind of like, you know, Web 2.0 is basically, all that term means is like user-generated content. Facebook, Squidoo, Twitter, I've always said Facebook. Now, this is a website we launched 1 week ago. And if anybody's got any interest in their health, I suggest that you go and have a look at it. It's good, isn't it, Tom?
It's very good, mate.
Yeah? Tom's my personal trainer. He's helped me lose, well, about two pounds in the last 6 months. I highly recommend Tom if you want to get fit. He's the best. You'll end up swearing at him a lot. Now, Toxic Health TV. We're using this on Twitter. We've only got 4 followers at the moment because it's only been online for less than a week. The way you're going to think about social media, this is the way to think about it. It's kind of like being at a party. If you go to a party and there's somebody there who sells BMWs, if he stood and if we went and said, hello, I'm Mark, what do you do? Yeah, I sell BMWs. You want to get yourself into a BMW 365. It's the best car on the market. Let me take your details. And you go, wait, whoa, I'm at a party. I'm glad you sell BMWs. I'm going to go and talk to this guy who's funny over here. Hiya. And you're going to have a good time. This guy sells Audis, right? But he doesn't push it down your throat. He's just sort of saying, look, I sell Audis, but anyway, did you see this? Blah, 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 on TV last night. It was really funny. You go away, you've got a relationship. You've reacted to that person emotionally, and you go away, and then if you're thinking, I need a new car, BMW or Audi? Well, the BMW guy was a wanker. I'm going to buy the Audi. I'm going to ring that guy back up. Then you're going to buy the Audi off him. That's kind of how social media works. You're not pushing, you're not really selling, you're just sort of saying, here I am, I do this is what blogging, so it's an extension of blogging. Except with Twitter, you can do it, I do it from my iPhone. If something interesting happens, if my kid falls over or wears a funny hat, I'll take a picture, I'll Twitter, here's my kid wearing a funny hat. And this is amazing. You put it up, and then if you go to the website where the picture's posted on Twitflix or something, you probably got that wrong, but there's one, I use about 4 or 5. But by the time I've gone to the site, it's already had like 70 views before I've got to it. You know, it's instant. Think about Stephen Fry. He's on Twitter. He's got something like 100,000 followers now. Now, everybody thinks, what's Stephen Fry doing? Who wants to know about Stephen Fry? Well, I tell you what, people who like Stephen Fry. I like Stephen Fry. I follow him. He makes me laugh every day without me having to turn the telly box on. He's there making me laugh. I'm in the airport and somebody's got a big bum and whatever. It makes you laugh. Now, the real genius is when Stephen Fry releases a new book, what does he do? He twitters about it. Suddenly 100,000 people, probably more now. No PR, no advertising, no cost. He can sell 100,000 books like that as soon as he brings it out. That's the power of Twitter. Now you can use this yourself, use it personally. This Toxic Health TV, can you believe that sunscreen actually causes skin cancer? We did this morning. If you click on the link, please, Louise, 7 hours ago. What time is it? Yeah, about midday. So it goes straight through to the site. Now, at the moment, there's only 4 followers, but it grows over time. And this is the website, Toxic Health TV, and what it's about is, myself and my wife are very interested in the fact that we are being systematically poisoned. That's outside of the remit of this talk, but as a race, we believe and we know that we're being systematically poisoned. So we're trying to prove that and share that knowledge with people so that people get a bit wise. Sunscreen causes cancer. There's loads of other stories. Go and have a look at Toxic Health TV. Follow it. You'll enjoy it. And if you don't, unsubscribe. There's always options.